Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with the bands. Crowd going wild, dived in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I tell her my vision. You young and she get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey, I told her to join my team. It's best you go where it's safe. You know how I play. I get to a sack like Frank. You can teach money to fly. I turn it a hop. I catch it and go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the lights. I'm shining so bright. This visor will cover my face. You see me working and working. I'm getting it done. And soon they be feeding me grapes. Let's go.
I told my boys, it ain't no limit. Told all my
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Pulls it in at the 13. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Burrow on third down. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be fourth down.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. The Bengals at 3-5, 2 games under 500. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Here we go. 2nd and 5. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Rams are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And that one complete downfield to Kupp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup of 38.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens, because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Going right back to Akers. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cam Akers, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Taken from about the 12. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CB, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now Burrow on first down. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. A.J. Bouye with a pick. And the Rams will take over here just shy of the 30.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Stafford now to throw. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, L.A. Cooper Kupp hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Rams 14, Bengals nothing. Mitch Wishnowsky sets the kickoff.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Burrow will throw out to his left. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's going to have a Bengals first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
That's a nice job there knowing what his options are. He's out of the pocket to his left. And I thought maybe think about running with this one, but he uses his vision instead. Finds his man on the left sideline, and they convert on third down.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 34-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. His throw incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
On third down, Burrow. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Aaron Donald with a sack.
Already up 2 touchdowns. How about that drive killer of a sack there to add to their good play? This offense coming away with no points now, and some kind of score was desperately needed.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, L.A. Akers with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Rams take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. On the move past the 40, and the Rams are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle. Evades him at the 20. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 141 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Daxton Hill there to make the stop on defense. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Seibert's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now Akers to start the third quarter on the ground. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So roughing the passer penalty and an automatic first down.
And that's the mark of a bad team, partner, because That's an easily preventable penalty, but they just didn't take the proper steps to make it so.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll go again here with Akers. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Stafford on 3rd down. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Stafford popping this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Akers is going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A familiar refrain. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to them. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And now they will throw it with Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here. And that one, it backfired in a big way.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Back to Mixon on second down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. A give up the middle to Akers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Boy, 194 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. On the handoff, it's Akers. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. On the give, this is Akers. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they take a knee. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. And they'll indeed take a knee. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for L.A., the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they